Generally speaking, I tend to leave rotorcraft to other sims outside of flight simulators such as DCS or even nuclear option. But today's aircraft is, well, today's rotorcraft, I should say, is it's good. It's a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and welcome to the Miltech Simulations MH60. This is a wonderful, wonderful aircraft, rotorcraft, whatever you want to call it. With the caveat of, it doesn't perform too well on the outside. It's good on the inside, but performance on the outside, a little bit rough. We're going to give this aircraft, I'm going to keep saying aircraft, the full sample treatment today, looking first and foremost at the textures, then taking a listen to the sounds of the aircraft, and then finally getting up in the air and looking at the few different variants that we have, because this isn't the only one. There's 3 different variants of this, all with their own quirks and features. And, yep, that's it. So, without further ado, let's begin. Alright, let's get started with textures. You might notice a little bit of a scenery change. We're now on a LHA ship, because the Nimitz was a little bit close to a really population-dense area, and maybe I thought I could get better frames, but doesn't really look like it, does it? Nonetheless, the MH60... This is a 2020, I keep using the word, it's probably not the correct term, because this was remade by Miltech for 2024. There are some features that don't work, and we will definitely get to those in due time. But as far as textures go, I think it's pretty good. I do like how all of these elements are individually clickable. As compared to Flight Sim, where you just had the big single click things. So that's pretty neat. I do also want to apologize, those of you who are not new to the channel know I usually upload on Sundays, and that obviously didn't happen because you're watching this and it's not a Sunday. So what happened? Well, this happened, and then it's very evident to me that it's coming time to upgrade my computer. Either upgrade or replace certain components, because I'm hitting bottlenecks that I just shouldn't. Certain games that shouldn't run great on this work fairly well, and then other things, like, ironically enough, Flight Simulator, don't work so hot. But that's neither here nor there. That's not your problem, it's mine to figure out, but it's a partial walk around of, well, it's a mostly walk around. Did we look at the, sonobuoys? I think I went right past the sonobuoys. Oh no, they're not there. They're hidden. They're not loaded. That's what, okay. So we're gonna load some sonobuoys, we're gonna load some weapons, which, spoilers, is, the next part of, this very, very unique rotorcraft, is the ability to enable, not necessarily employ, but enable different weapon types. So we'll hop in the cockpit, and then from there we'll look at the different weapon systems, as well as listening to the sounds of the aircraft. Alright, and inside you can see we've got the generic Flight Sim tablet. I'm going to get rid of that because don't care about it. And we're going to come over here, and we're going to turn on our battery. I'll turn on ground power just so you can get a hear and feel for it. So what'll actually happen is there's a GPU that goes in out there, or turns on out there, and it actually plugs into a physical port, which we can individually open and close. Where's my mouse? There. That we can individually open and close when the GPU is not connected. So that's kind of cool. But it's also kind of noisy, so we'll make the rest of the situation noisy. Let's turn on our APU. And we'll get some lighting on the situation while the APU comes up. And APU is on, so let's turn on the APU generator. Good. We can now get rid of the external power. And we'll do a few other cleanup items here, just to get them going while I talk through the soundscape, which obviously is a little bit muted now because of the very loud APU running in the background, but that is part of the sound suite, so we're going to use it or deal with it. So we were talking earlier about loading weapons. Let's do that. So you have these two, well, I'm going to call them CDUs here, and you can see I have tons of options for weaponry. Now I realize now that I selected the wrong MH60 variant. This is the Submarine Hunter. I have, oh, I do have sonobuoys. Sonobuoys reload, flares reload, and I want to enable the sono dipper. And let's put some torpedoes on. And I think that's it. We'll throw on everything. And then we'll take another look outside. So now you can see I've got my, I think these are Mark 48 torpedoes. I don't know nearly enough about torpedoes, but I've got my torpedoes. I've got my big ol' Madus 50 cal. We've now loaded the sono buoys, so those will be out on the other side port. Got 4 times AGM. I believe these are these 65s? AGM 114s. Don't ask me the difference between the 65s and the 114s. They look very similar. Maybe they've got a better seeker head or something. Doesn't matter. And then our sono buoys now loaded. That little blink panel is now active. One other thing that's nice with this being a 2020 era aircraft is you do actually have visible navigation, anti-collision, and landing lights. So we'll turn on the landing lights, and we will turn on the anti-collisions as well. Actually, we'll just turn on everything. We'll just turn on everything. Turn on everything. So you can see there is our light for the hook. There's rotor headlights shining up on the rotor head. You can see the reflection from our anti-collision light down there, as well as, yeah, you can even see that up top. Really nice heat blur from the APU. And then we have twin set landing lights. And then on the CG60 variant, we have a searchlight that'll live in this position here. So a really nice place to be. I'm gonna get a few other things set up to take off, and then we'll go through the startup process. Actually, you know what? We can do it now, because these were the few other things I needed to do, I'm fairly certain. So starting up the MH60 is it's straightforward. It's just like any other rotorcraft that you might have. So we're going to turn on our master engine ignition. We're going to put both of our fuel levers to the full condition. And we're going to click on our little start switch here. And then when we're at 16% NG, we're going to advance that throttle level to the full position. So there we go. Or not the full position, the idle detent, excuse me. That's a good start on 1. You can see our button has pushed back out. We're going to do the same thing on engine 2. Alright, with our fuel all started now, I think this is as good of a time as any to talk a little bit about some of the bugs that this helicopter has. First thing is obviously the performance. It looks fairly smooth right now inside of the cockpit. I'm looking at the recording at least. But the second I go outside, goodbye frame rate. I'm crying over you. Yeah, so frame rate's not great. Externally, it's a little bit better inside, but still not where I would like it to be. The other thing, which I will show when we look at a different version of this helicopter, is the blade folding system. Now, Miltech did effectively say, hey, we're deactivating this in the 2024 version. No indication of if they're going to re-implement it or not, but right now that's known non-working. But there is an issue with the tail fold as well. We'll look at that later. And then finally is the shadows, and keep an eye on this little porthole here. I think this is a gun port. Keep an eye on that, and just this general lower corner as we fly. You'll see what I mean. All right, we're park brake off. Let's pick up the collective here. You can hear the tonal change. Get a little bit of blade slap.
5 feet.
And there is my... I don't even know who that's supposed to be. In the Coast Guard version, it makes sense to have someone doing callouts, but I only have a... are they a weapon system operator in the back? With the sono buoys and operating my camera. So I don't know if they'd be calling my radar altimeter, but just in case you don't have one in the real world, there's one right there. Lost my ground effects. It's alright, we were able to compensate. This has a lot of lifting power, so you can get yourself out of pretty sticky situations pretty easily.
20 feet.
Do you see it? Now that's something I'm mostly willing to let go of because this rotorcraft is so good in so many other ways. But if you don't like little stuff like that, and again, you can see it doing it down there as well.
20 feet. 5 feet.
I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, that is the same GPWS callouts that we get in the F-18. Now, why is that, you might ask, or I hear you ask. Just kidding, no one's asking anything. I'm telling. The reason that is the same oral callout is because I don't know who manufactures the avionics for the F-18 or the MH-60. Let's pretend it's Honeywell. There's no reason for them to have an oral warning, a different oral warning voice for that aircraft, the F-18 versus the MH-60. So, I mean, pulling up and rolling right are the same no matter what kind of vessel you're on. Right? So, it makes sense to share them across multiple vehicles. And I can appreciate the realism aspects of that, because I'm fairly certain that it is shared. We'll get set up to do 2 landings, one on the elevator of the LHA, I think. It might be an LHD, I don't know. LHD, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's an LHA. We'll get set up to do a landing there. We're fast, a little bit high, but we can make this thing drop like an absolute rock and bleed speed, like we're slamming into a wall. Not too crazy of winds we're fighting. Obviously this ship isn't moving, and having forward, it is an LHA, you can see it on the stern there. Having forward motion actually would aid us in this specific case, because it helps helicopters with their lift coefficient just like any other vehicle out there, right? But we'll make do. Like I said before, the MH60 has an incredible lift coefficient. So we'll be ready for the ground effect of the elevator when we come over it. That's going to push us up just a little bit. So we'll need to dump a little bit of collective. Not that much though. God. I'm such a bad rotorcraft pilot. Have I told you guys I'm not really good at flying rotorcraft? Have I mentioned that?
5 feet.
There's the push.
5 feet. 5 feet.
Right, I'm gonna call that good. I mean, we're on the elevator. That's good enough. Go back inside where the frames are smooth. Ooh. All right, let's go out once more, and then we'll go land on. What were those? Arleigh Burkes. There were 2 Arleigh Burkes, and I think was the other one a littoral combat ship. I don't know my naval vessels, and I apologize.
5 feet.
No, the LCS had that kind of weird looking hull, didn't it? Like the Liberty classes. I don't know what I'm talking about. If you do, let me know. SH60s. They don't even have cool tucked-in tail wheels. I can't. English good. So yeah, that's an Arleigh Burke off to the left. I think that's also an Arleigh Burke. I do not know what type of ship this is. But we're going to land on it because I saw helicopters on the stern, so.
Pull up! Pull up! Roll left! Roll left!
Obviously, this thing handles very, very well. You can do crazy, obnoxious maneuvers with it like that. With little to no fear of overshooting. Let's touch rotor blades with this SH60 real quick.
10 feet. 5 feet.
There we go. Hey, buddy, how are your rotor blades? Stop, stop, stop. Anyway, let's take a look at a different variant, and a different bug as well, in the CG60. Back with that in just a minute. And welcome to Kodiak Coast Guard Station in Kodiak, Alaska. We have the venerable CG60 in front of us. Thousands, probably tens of thousands of lives rescued by variations of this rotorcraft. I found another graphical glitch. What's up with that stripe? Huh. Anyway, this is largely the same rotorcraft we had before. Alright, let's do a quick pickup in the CG60. It's largely the same. But I'll give you guys a damn good review, because, well, fucked up. Well, I didn't, my computer did, but through transitive property I did. So we'll look at the autopilot in the CG60, the Automated Flight Control System, or AFCS, as it's known.
5 feet.
Fly out manually here, head towards that glacial mountain looking thing out there. I should be able to turn on the AFCS now. Can. We'll have it hold a barometric altitude. So I'm now hands off of everything. Hands off collective, hands off cyclic, hands off anti-torque. And the helicopter is going to do its best to fly the profile that I have assigned it. Now in this case, all it's doing is holding a current heading and a current altitude. But if you had a mission loaded, and we'll talk about the mission maker in a different video, because I Well, if I'm being honest, it's damn good, and I think it deserves its own video. And that's what I'm going to do. But if you had the mission maker, you could have it follow your mission track. You can have it follow TACAN. So if you set your current your current bearing hold to a TACAN, which you can dial in on your radio, it'll do that as well. Or it'll just fly straight and level, like we're doing right now. 0 vertical speed change, holding a barometric altitude. Then as we come in, we can go into a hover approach. The aircraft will start slowing us down and descending to the set altitude that we have here, and that is adjusted. Be a little purple guy here. So if I want to hover lower, like let's say closer to 120 feet, you can see now we're just past 100 feet, so roughly 120 feet. Aircraft still slowing down. We're further descending from 170 to 160. Again, I'm not touching a single control. The helicopter is doing all of this on its own. And we're now established in a hover at 100 feet, so we should hopefully be picking up collective a little bit here. And we're now set in a hover. Perfect hover. So, that's not where this stops. So now, if I'm in my hover, right, we're not moving, 0 speed, 0 vertical velocity as well. If I want the aircraft to move forward, I can change my longitudinal velocity. Say I want to go forward at 30 knots. I can dial that forward, and you can see we're increasing our forward speed now. And if I want to increase my altitude, I can dial that back up so we can clear this embankment here. And if I want to change my lateral velocity, left and right, I can do that as well with the little white knob. And it'll strafe for me. And then if I want to rotate the helicopter, I just hit my anti-torque pedals manually. So now I'm on the anti-torque. The helicopter has the rest of its controls. I'm now off anti-torque. And it'll keep holding a heading of 121 degrees. Nice little terrain shift there. Thank you, Flight Sim. We'll turn once more with our anti-torque pedals. I'm going to put in just a little bit of lateral velocity just so we keep a stable platform as we fly. And now we're turned back towards Kodiak. So we'll set our roll to 0, and then when I'm ready to leave the area, I can hit the depart button. The helicopter takes on a slightly more aggressive profile, getting us altitude and airspeed. Again, I'm totally hands-off controls right now. That might be the biggest letdown of this helicopter. I'm not gonna... Okay, no. The outside texture performance is... but I have a sneaking suspicion the community can make a lower res texture pack, because I think everything's a 4K resolution or maybe an 8K on the helo. I think that's part of the problem. Alright, so we're coming back to Kodiak now. I can see it in the distance. So I'm going to turn off our AFCS. We'll get a warning in the cockpit. So I'm now manually flying. And we'll sit down outside of the box and taxi into the box.
20 feet. 10 feet. 5 feet.
Should be pointing into the wind. Wind is coming from directly behind us. So here we go. Let's unlock the tail wheel and we'll manually taxi over to our box. Ground handling, it's a helicopter. It does great. I don't know what else you're expecting. It's a helicopter. You can literally land it wherever you want, put it down wherever you want. You do have differential braking, should you, for whatever reason, need that. The alternative is just use your dang anti-torque pedals. But you can ground taxi this essentially just like an airplane. You just put in a little bit of collective. You don't need to do any forward motion on your cyclic. Then as we come into our stop point, we'll throw that collective back down and gently apply the brakes for full stop. That is the CG60. We've got one more variant to look at, and then we'll close out for the day. Alright, last up on our list is the standard MH60. You can see we've got the, where's my mouse? We've got the normal tail there. So, ironically, the United States Army livery does not, doesn't come with this, but I added one, because why would we not? So we've got the Nevada Air National Guard going. Let's talk about the tail fold and why it doesn't work. So, we'll hit the tail fold button at 2 frames per second. And you can see our tail folds great. In their defense, it doesn't say tail and tail rotor fold. So the tail rotor stays where it's at. But that's okay. We can let that go. Last thing I want to show is the cargo handling. So I'll get the tail unfolded and we'll run through that. Alright, let's look at our last module here, that being the cargo load. This has been a rough video. I've been at this recording for 3 days now. You probably can't tell, but this is day 3 of recording. Anyway, we're going to go into the laugh a mess here. Go into our load, and we'll load a single pallet.
Inbound for right seat beak.
Roger, right seat beak. Arm hook. Hook armed.
Alright, hooks armed. Oh, I also do want to mention that all variants of this helicopter have a forward-looking infrared camera or FLIR. So if you're into that sort of thing, you can definitely utilize it, should you so choose. Alright, so off to our right there, that is the cargo we're going to be picking up. So we will pick ourselves up here. Wind is 150 at 6, so from here-ish. Let's get rolling. We'll turn around, take off into the wind. Not a requirement, but definitely preferred. Again, ground handling is very, very, very good on all the variants. Alright, stab the brakes and let's pick up here.
Up.
Alright, so as we come back in for our approach, we want to maintain below 50 feet AGL. We're going to utilize our radar altimeter as well as our Loadmaster's callouts to do so. We got lined up with 150 here.
Easy.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. You're fine.
Down.
We'll follow her call-ins. So altitude's good. We'll strafe right.
Right.
Still coming right. Maybe remember where it was. Did it despawn? There it is.
Easy.
There it is.
Forward. Right. Right. Forward.
Getting a little bit unstable here. I think we can salvage this, though.
Forward. Left. Back.
Left and back. So, unrelated. The largest housefly that I've ever seen in my entire life just flew directly onto the center of my screen. And I need you to know for reference, I'm on a 32-inch 1440p monitor. And when I tell you that the leg span of this fly was the size of my radar altimeter at the current viewpoint that I'm at, that thing right there. Oh my gosh. Anyway, don't know where it is now. I think I maybe killed it. We'll see. So, if you hear me do a backflip out of my chair again, just know
Left.
that's what happened. Anyway, oh hey, we've got the car. We have the cargo load now. There it is. I didn't even. So I don't know how much I'm gonna keep in the video, but I panicked. And I paused the game before I stopped the record. It doesn't matter. Anyway, back to the MH60. Feels good under load. I can definitely feel the weight of the pallet in my maneuvering. It acts like a pendulum. And I dig it. God, I can hear my heartbeat in my ears right now. Really messed up part is when I came home, I saw the fly in between my window pane and my screen, and I was like, oh, how the heck did that get there? That's weird. And I have a little portable air conditioner that I use because the air conditioning where I live doesn't make it to the office that I record in.
Inbound for drop.
Roger. Inbound for drop.
And it's like, oh, that sucks. So I intentionally made a point to seal up the little air exchanger. Nope, he made it through and landed directly on my screen, and I record in the dark too. Oh, dude, it was rough. Anyway, let's set this pallet down and close things out. Maybe this is a sign. All right, there's 50 feet.
Load on ground. Hook clear.
We're clear. Let's peel out of here. So that is the MH60 and its variants by Miltech Simulations. Definitely a good grab, minus a couple of things. But for the price, I think they're asking on like 28 bucks for it. It's definitely worth it. Like I mentioned before, we will take a look at the mission generator because it's very, very good, especially when you compare it to some of the silly baked-in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 missions. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to close out here and then for no reason whatsoever leave this room for the rest of the night. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I do dearly appreciate it.
Pull up, pull up.
Indeed, pull up indeed. And I will see you in the next one. As always, take it easy. Let's do a J-turn. That's a control tower. Probably would have been death.
Pull up, pull up.
20 feet. 10 feet. 20 feet.
We're right, pull up, pull